Wow.
Well, all right, everybody, we're going to get started at 7 o'clock. So those of you that are new, if you could go ahead and make sure that you are muted. And a little bit later on, we're going to have a chance to ask maybe some questions. So at that point, if you can, in the chat at the bottom, you can click on it and say, I have a question, and then we'll call on you. Another thing you can do is there's somewhere on here you can raise your hand, and then I'll also know that you have a question. All right, so we got a lot of people on. This is really good. So those of you that don't know, we have a couple new people. I'm Sandy Hodgkins. I run the Granite State Savvy Club and also own West Meadow Farm in Bradford, New Hampshire. And tonight we have a guest speaker, Glenn Stewart. I see he's on, which is great. We've got more people logging in. All right, so we are just going to get right to it tonight. And our first item of business is to draw the winners from our homework. So the homework assignment that we had for March was 3 tasks in order, and you can do the task either riding or online. And the first one was to get your horse to step over a pole with the right front foot first, and then the left front foot, and then to be able to get your horse to straddle as they went down the pole. And we got so many videos. It was really, really good. And to see the focus that you guys had on the feet and where the feet were going, that was huge. And you could see your horses really trying, and some of the horses were really hesitating to figure out where you wanted the feet to go. So that was pretty cool. So I sent out an email about an hour ago with the people that had sent in videos, and I'm going to go through who I had marked down, and if I missed you, let me know. So we have Annalise, she sent in 5 videos because you could do it online or riding, and if you had multiple horses. And then Becky Greenan, she's got 2 entries. Sandra Rathke has 3 entries. Jessica has 1 entry. Linda Gott has 3 entries. Colleen Whitney has 1. Chelsea has 1. Cindy Lou has 1. And Carolyn Townsend has 2. So does that all sound correct? All right.
I had entries too, Angela.
Oh, you know what, Angela? I didn't put you in. I'm glad you said that. I'm going to add you to the bucket. Angela. And Angela's going to have 3. All right. So what you were drawing for, the first thing is it's a rope hackamore and a 22-foot line and a savvy string somewhere in here. There's a savvy string right here, savvy string. And so this 22-foot line is a Pirelli one. It was one that was donated to us. And if you notice, there's a handle at the end. Do not put your hand through that. That's not why this was designed. So just pre-warning you. One little fun thing you can do is if you do have this loop at the end of your rope and you're playing the circling game, you can have this on the ground and put your carrot stick in it, and then have the carrot stick hold the rope as the horse goes around. And then the other 2 things we're going to be drawing for are some of the original Pirelli passports. And these are full of different challenges that you can do. And there's little stickers, so when you complete it, you can put the little sticker on there. So we have 2 of those. All right. So I picked up 2. For the Pirelli halter, it's Angela. All right, so I know I still have some other things for you here from our other challenges, so I'm going to add that to your pile, and the next time you come up, you can grab it. All right, the Pirelli passports. One of them is going to go to Annalise. I don't think she's on. Oh, she is on. I see her. And so she gets one. And then the other one is going, oh, Annalise. So I drew your name twice, Annalise. Do you want two of them? Or do you want me to repick? Or you can give it to a friend. You have to.
Yeah, you can repick.
Okay. Oh, poor Jessica.
She can have mine anyway, probably.
All right, so for the other Pirelli passport, it's gonna go to Chelsea. Now, I don't see her on. She was one that logged in from Linda Pirelli's Happy Horse site. I posted this on there. So if I can't get a hold of her, then we'll just add it to next month's challenge. All right, and you can go to that Facebook page and see everybody's videos, and I put some comments on there for ones that didn't quite pass, maybe some different ideas that you can do better. Let's see. All right, I just had to remute you, Joan. Somehow you got unmuted. All right, so now we're going to announce April's challenge. Now this challenge is, for those of you that are super dedicated, the first 25 people that are able to do this challenge, and this challenge is going to happen just about every single day at 8 o'clock at night. We're going to get on Zoom. You're going to get a Pirelli DVD or magazine. It'll be your pick. So this challenge is a 30-day ab challenge. So it takes about 4 minutes to do, so it doesn't take a long time. We're gonna start at April 1st. And like day one, you do 10 climbers, 10 crunches, 10 bicycle crunches, and a 10-second plank. And so we're gonna do it together, and whoever comes on the meeting, you don't have to have your video on. I am by far not a professional, so you do what works for you, and just get it done. So that'll be the challenge. So I'm going to be sending out a Zoom link every day for everybody to join in. And like I said, you don't have to have your video on, and it takes about 5 minutes. And then I might throw in some little other horsemanship videos. So maybe it'll last like 20 minutes or something. All right, so that's April's challenge, and I'll send out an email about that. All right, oh, we got some more people logging in. All right, so I wanted to introduce to you Glenn Stewart, who's on tonight. And so Glenn Stewart has a stage program, and I wanted to show you a little bit what he has. And Glenn started down here, I think it was 2017. And I got his name from, he was part of the Road to the Horse. He did that challenge. And so he's been down here ever since, except for last year because of COVID, he wasn't able to make it. And this year he'll be down here in September, September 9th through the 12th. And we do have 2 rider spots available. So if that's something you're interested in doing, that would be fantastic. You do have to have passed stage 1 in his program. So if you go to his website, and I put the link in the last newsletter that I sent out, there's a link to it. And if you go to his website, you can click on his stage program. And it's a step-by-step program. And when you send it in, he sends back comments for the task to help you out if you need to redo the task. And you can always talk live to Glenn, and you usually get a lot more information that way. To get more feedback. You watch the videos at the same time. When you pass a level, you get a certificate, and you also get a sticker. And the sticker, let's see, here's down here. You can put it on your horseman stick. Yeah, let's see. So I wanted to show you, before Glenn comes on, one of the videos, and this is one when he came down that I thought was really important, and I use it all the time. And it also took place in this challenge that we just did about you set the pace, not your horse. And a lot of times in this video, when people sent in videos, the horses were going faster than what they wanted or slower than what they wanted. So Glenn always says, you set the pace. So I have a little video that we did back in 2017 that I want to share. Let's see. It's only about a minute long. And at this clinic, we were at Full Circle Farm in Newport. So Glenn is doing a simulation with Sandra Stubbs.
Okay, so I'm gonna just walk around and your job is keeping, a good dancer will just slowly start to transfer the weight up here.
If somebody's unmuted, could you make sure to mute yourself?
So how did it look the second time compared to the first time? Better, wasn't it? Already.
Now put her on the inside, she'll be sore.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so that was Sandra Stubbs, and she's always a good sport. And it was, really showing how to smoothly go in and out of a transition and how to make it a little bit fair to your horse. So like I said, there's all kinds of things that I've learned from Glenn. George and I went up to the mountains up in Canada. We spent a week up there, and there was things that we did that I never thought I could do, the places that we climbed. And in the newsletter that I sent out, at the bottom, the pictures with the quotes, those are all from the trip in the mountains. So, all right, I guess that's all I got. So without further ado, I'm gonna turn it over to you, Glenn Stewart.
Well, how's everybody this evening? It's afternoon here still. Good to see a bunch of faces that I recognize, and there's a bunch of people that I don't recognize, but anyways, good to see everybody. Thank you for inviting me to your meeting. Is this an annual, or not annual, monthly or something, or?
Yeah, we get together every month.
Okay. Nice. And so, what do you want me to do, Sandy? What am I doing here now? What's the game plan? Either Sandy, I don't care.
I'm the other Sandy. Okay, so
The other Sandy.
I have unmuted myself. Hello, everyone. I have the pleasure of working with, Sandy Hodgkins, thank you for organizing this. And I work with Glenn at the Horse Ranch. So what I'd like to do is a screen share, and then we can walk through the online course. But before we go there, Mr. Stewart, I would like to say, Sandra Stubbs, I feel your pain. That is every day of my life, okay? Running to keep up to Glenn. So the program, he's gonna explain it to you in a nutshell. That's what we're gonna do this next little bit, including showing you some lessons. And he's gonna share with you just a general overview, right? So I'd like to share my screen. Can we do that? You have to give me access to do that when I try and do it. Okay. There. Can everyone see that now?
Oh yeah, yeah, I see it.
Awesome. So I'm going to now mute myself, but as usual, Glenn, if you need me, you just,
Okay.
I'll be listening.
So I'm wondering, so Sandy, did you tell all the people that are coming to the meeting that this is what we're doing, or do they know that we're going to be talking about this, or?
Yes, yep.
Okay, okay. All right, so, okay, I didn't know if I need to bring everybody up to speed or what the deal was. So, anyways, this is the online course that we made. So when COVID hit, everything shut down on my end, like all the camps, or not my camps didn't shut down. So we do camps here at the ranch, but my competitions and my shows and my clinics on the road, pretty much everything shut down, which was bad news. But what was good news is that it gave me time to focus on some other parts that I wanted to do. And so at the time, I took a course, and I don't know how long it was, 2 months or something. Both Sandy and I took the course. The Sandy Beauchesne that works for me and runs the office, they're waving. So we both took a Tony Robbins course about all this stuff and whatever. And I was trying to educate myself on these things like this, because it's not something I get out there and just get to work with my horse. I don't spend much time behind a computer. However, the last year I spent a lot of time behind the computer because I've learned about this stuff, and it's a way to reach a whole lot more people, you know, without having to be there. Because generally speaking, I would come and I would see Joan and Sandra and Sandy and everybody. We get to see you guys once a year or something. So I come and I go, and that's it. And so now I thought, well, I've got time finally I'm not just running from clinic to clinic to clinic. I got time. What can we do to produce, you know, or to give access to people to a heck of a lot more information, and how can we do that? So that's why I took the course, which took at least 2 months, and I was doing 7 days a week, 8, 9 o'clock at night. I'd finally give up for that day and then go at it again the next day. But anyways, I learned a whole bunch about all the Zooming in business. So I'm still spending as much time with the horses, but this is a new thing. And so anyways, this seems to be working out really well for people, because we've got this online course done, and we've got stages 1, 2, and 3 online. And I'm hoping to get stage 4 and maybe 5 done this summer to put online as well. And so how the stages, the online lessons work is I've really unpacked it even more, because I've made DVDs, and some of you may have the DVDs, I'm not sure, but I have DVDs. But the DVD lasted an hour and a half, and I did that about 8 or 10 years ago. I made the DVDs, and it's chock full of good information. If you can do everything that all those DVDs say, you're doing good. But I've unpacked the information more, and in the last 8 or 10 years, I've probably taught another 1,000 people, and I've probably rode another 1,000 horses. And so I've got some more tips and things that I wanted to share with people. And, you know, and then when you teach that many people for that many years, you start seeing these same patterns over and over with us humans, me included in this. And I see these patterns and whatnot that are going on. So I go, okay, so I can put that into the online course. And so we've unpacked it down. And I think the DVD for stage 1 was an hour and a half or something. And the lessons, the online lessons, are 4.5 hours. So tripled the amount of unpacking that I did, and then broke it down into little step-by-step. So you can see on the side of the screen there, lesson 1 is about mindset. Can you guys see that? You know, and then lesson 2 is as equipment and core concepts. And lesson 2, the second part of lesson 2 is a quiz. So in this whole thing, it's all laid out, and every lesson has a quiz to it. So there's a theory part to it, and there's a written quiz that you can do on the computer. So you just check the box, and it'll tell you, oh, good job, you got 89% of the questions right, or it'll say no, and then, but you can go back and get the answers to make sure you do have the answers. So you can do that. But we've got the theory part that I always start out with, and I write on the board, so you get a visual with your eye, the written word, you know, the main words, because it's a proven thing that people learn in a multitude of ways, that we all do. We might have our preferred methods of learning, but we all use the same learning methods. We might like one more than the other, but we still have all these different ways of learning. So I tried to cover as many of those as I possibly could in this online lesson. So you get the theory part where I'm just standing there, and we've got it all written down on the board. You can write or read all the stuff it says on the board. And then some of it I do simulations, and I'll do it on my roping dummy, or I'll just hold the halter up, and you can practice that. So some of the stuff you can do it in your car, sitting outside the grocery store. There's actually, you could be waiting to pick the kid up at hockey or something, or whatever you could be. And so anyways, that's how the lessons are kind of laid out. The quiz with everyone, you watch the theory and you do the quiz. You can get your little score on there, but there's, I think, 16 lessons, I believe, in stage 1. And the top one is mindset. So yeah, there's Yeah, there's at least 15 lessons, but there's still the quizzes and everything going there. So count it however you want. We call it 15 lessons. And also at the very end of it, then there's I run through all of stage 1 or all of stage 2 or all of stage 3 with whatever stage you're watching. I run through it from start to finish with a horse. So I take a horse and I go right through the whole thing. So the horse that I used for stage 1 and 2 was Sandy's horse, my Sandy. I used her horse because it had not been through the program. So I didn't know the program. So I took the horse and I run through. So you get to see a horse that was just kind of learning as we went. I say right in the video exactly what I did with the horse, like, oh, I did this or I did that. So you know ahead of time how much time I've spent. And the idea behind that was so that hopefully it inspired you to see how fast you can go through stage 1 and what it could look like in how short a period of time. Yes, is me doing it. And yes, I've done thousands of horses through stage 1, 2, 3, 4. So yes, I'm going to be able to do it quicker. However, I'm just human like anybody else. And you can see how quickly a horse can pick this up. You go, oh, wow. And you can see what it looks like in this small window of time. So I did that on purpose and every horse is different, but they're the same, you know? So some people say, well, I wish you'd show horses with this and this and this and this and this. I go, well, you don't have enough time to watch all the different horses and styles of horses out there. You got to get the concept, follow the steps that are laid out. And these are the steps that I use anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where I go, I follow this to the letter, and it works every time. So, at the beginning, I want to talk about the mindset at the beginning. So I just did another video. I did 2 videos yesterday, videos to send out for different things that we're doing. But anyways, one of the number 1 thing says the mindset. And I'm seeing this, it's been probably the last 10 years or something. It's kind of become more and more noticeable to me. Mindset of what we're about to do, or, what we're going to do or whatever. Your mindset is absolutely unbelievably important to what you're going to get for results with a horse. So I do a little bit of a mindset thing in the to begin with, to get our minds going in the right direction a little bit. If our perspective or our beliefs, so somebody could give you the very best techniques, the very best equipment, the very best everything in the whole wide world, but depending on your beliefs, you're going to get a set of results according to your beliefs or your perspective on things. So if you take 2 different people and you give them exactly the same information, but this person has a different perspective than this person over here, they're going to get 2 completely different results, even though they both got access to the exact same amazing whatever information. So that's why the mindset thing is in there. But you could add a 3rd person in there and they got a different mindset again, a different set of things are going to happen with that horse. So I try to explain, my mindset and my philosophy, and because I believe it works, because 3,000 horses can't be wrong, sort of deal, and I've watched students do it. It's not just for me. I watched lots of students do lots of things. So that's what that's all about. But what would you guys, do you have a pick on something you'd like to see? What, we can show you a little bit of this so you can get a little bit of it. I want to for sure show you the quiz. I want to show you that. I want to for sure show you, we don't have to watch the whole thing, but each lesson is, we try to do it, I think it was 15 to 20, 25 minutes, something like that, each lesson. So you don't have broke down every step. But do you guys have anything specific? Sandy Hodgkins, do you got anything specific that you were dying to or think they should see? Or
Yeah, I would say lesson 4 on the steady pressure. I think that's a pretty important one in anything that we do.
steady pressure. Okay, sure. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so there's my scribbling on the wall, or Sandy's.
4 already. So good job for doing that. Lesson number 3, we talked about confidence building, basically, and that's pattern number 1. So there's these 7 patterns that we're going to go through in the stages and some other stuff. But pattern number 1 of the 7 patterns is confidence building. That's, we rub them all over with our hand, and this use it, or you're using the stick so that you can use your hand, but you want to make sure you can use the stick and you can use your hand. So we talked about making sure that you understand how sticks or how strings and ropes work. All strings and rope work the same unless you're really, really brittle or something, but all strings work the same. So you gotta make darn sure that we know how strings and ropes work so that we're not confused.
Sandy, I can't, this is all jibbery jabbery and it doesn't come in very good on my end. I don't know how it's working for you guys.
How's it working for everyone?
Can you hear it even?
Yeah, I can understand it. It's probably the speed of the internet might be a little slow.
Yeah. I don't know if we need to listen to everything I say on there, but I can, I don't know if we need to listen to.
Maybe if Sandy can skip through it and you can, if Sandy.
Yeah. Well, we'll just show parts of it and I'll explain. It'll be easier, I think. So basically this is one of the lessons, and often this is about how they start out. I write this stuff on the board, pattern number 2, steady pressure, and then it says, the phases, and they should be held for 3 seconds. So I go through each one of these points on here and talk about each one of these points to you, and so people can make as many notes as they want, but we've got something for you to look at in the background there. And then we'll go to, if there's a simulation that I can do, then we'll go to the simulation. If there's not, then I go to the horse and then I explain the whole thing again, and then I start doing it on a horse. And I talk about, what to look for, what are the pitfalls or whatever, I actually tell you things that if you could do this, it would be even better than stage 1. But I've given you the information because you could, whatever, if you do, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be that good, but I even say that in the video, it doesn't have to be that good, but if this would be really beneficial. So let's roll this for a little second here, Sandy. Let it play or see if we can hear it.
If I release a people like that, flips his head here, there, and my hand comes off, that's a release. And so release teaches. So I can teach him all to put his head around.
Is your volume all the way up, Sandy?
It
Move
is.
the hindquarters. Anywhere from the drive line here, this is the drive line on a horse. Somewhere in this area, it depends on, it can be different for different.
Right.
So I talk about all these things. So there I was talking about the drive line. I was showing with the stick where the drive line is, but I also talk about all the things that horses do and that people might not notice or that they miss or whatever, and how to fix all those things and what it really means and what really quality looks like. So each one of these things. So this is just one lesson and only one little tiny part of stage 1, but I really, even with what you can see, I'm assuming you can see, oh man, this is broke down to the nth degree compared to what it could be, because I could waltz through the whole thing in an hour and a half, all the stage 1, which I've done in the past, but this is really broke down. So anyways, we show all the maneuvers with the horse, and I say, oh, that was good, no, that was bad. I explain that all quite in depth, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and you get to see it all done. And then Sandy, can we show them a quiz?
Sure.
And I think Andrew had a question too. So Andrew, at some point, if you want to unmute, and if you had a question, feel free to do that.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, if you guys got any questions about anything, so here's and I'll get to your question, Andrew, right away. So here's one of the quizzes. So this is just one of the questions on the quiz. Pattern number 2 is about. That's it. So you check one of the things, and then you push confirm, and then it says this is the correct answer. So if you were to, and then there's usually, I don't know what, there's different amounts of questions that we have. How many questions are on this one, Sandy, on this particular one?
I muted myself. There's 8 questions.
8 questions.
8 in a dozen.
Yeah. Okay, so there's 8 questions just for this one alone. You go along, check, and it gives you a score at the end of it. It says, yeah, you did good, or you missed a couple, or whatever it is. So it just helps drive things home for you. Did that question, or can I answer a question?
Hi, Glenn. Yeah, Andrew Lasser. How are you?
Hi, Andrew. Good.
So I actually I started some private lessons with Sandy Hodgkins, and she's been awesome so far. Pretty much doing stage 1 right now. But I'm not sure. Is this as far as the online course though? Is it more of like a subscription based thing, or can I take my time with it, or is it like one price? I'm not sure exactly how that's set up. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun. I apologize.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So it is a subscription based, I think that's what you'd call it. It's $89 a month. And it's got, I think I mentioned this, it's got stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. And as you pass each, we made a decision in the beginning, like if you pass stage 1, we'll let you see stage 2. So we may change that, but right now, because I'm very serious about people getting somewhere at their horsemanship, it's very important to me that people get ahead in their horsemanship. And so to boggle them, and I know humans because I'm one of them, and I know that I would, if I had access to everything under the sun, I'd probably go look at it all. And it's kind of like somebody almost needs to be disciplined for me and say, no, Glenn, you can have that pie when you eat your potatoes, sort of deal. because I really, I thought of it from a student perspective and go, you know what, I bet you they want to look at every last thing in there, and I bet you I would too. However, how can I help them the most? What's going to be the most beneficial? And I thought, you know what, this is the way it's going to go for now. So they're in there, but it is a subscription based thing. You pay your $89 and that'll get you 1 month of the information, and it will continue on as long as you want to have it. So stage 1, when I do a stage 1 clinic, to show everybody everything there is in stage 1, it usually takes 5 days. And I can run everybody through stage 1. That just means they've seen it. Doesn't mean they passed. Just means that they've seen the information. And that usually runs around $1,200, $1,500. It's actually about $1,500 for a 5-day clinic per person. And so they get to see it once for $1,500. And so this year is $89, and it wouldn't cost you that for a year. So we've got people, I think we started this about a year ago, and we've only had 3 people that signed up that unsigned. Everybody else has stayed in, and the one of the companies that we're working with that does a lot of this stuff, because we don't know about it, they said they've never seen it ever. In 17 years, they've never seen that higher retention rate. People are just not leaving the deal, which tells me they must be getting something out of it or they'd be heading out, right? But that is exactly what it is, and it's a good question. It is a subscription-based thing. You can get into it and watch it. Once you paid you $89, you got it for the month, and if you go, I don't like it, well, then you can be out of it you just cancel your order. We cancel it for you, and it's done. But if you like it and you're thinking it's helping, you get another $89 and you take it, and you just keep rolling it along.
All right, so we had 2 more questions. So Libby asked the question, is the $89 Canadian or US dollars?
Yeah, that's like $40 American. Whatever. Yes, it's Canadian. 89 Canadian. So happy days for you guys.
All right. And the other question Joan had was, can you give us a sample of what the mindset instructions sound like? I presume each lesson starts that way.
Nope, the mindset is at the very beginning. And then, well, the mindset is at the very beginning, but every lesson, it's sprinkled in there. The message or the philosophy that I believe will really help people with their horses is sprinkled in every lesson. It just comes out of me. I can't stop it from coming out of me. You've been around me enough, Sandy, in different trips, and going to the mountains, and you said, and I, on a daily basis, every time I open my mouth, the philosophy comes out of it, because I can't stop it, because most of the articles and anything that I write, they have more to do with mindset than they do with the how-to step-by-step DB, because I so strongly believe that if your belief and your philosophy is off, it doesn't matter what information you get, you're just going to get, you could really be diminishing the results that you're going to get with your horse, and all the doors that can be opened, and the goals and dreams just go down the tube depending on what the philosophy is. So I'm a big, you pretty much can't stop me from, you can't really. It trickles out there. But so the main mindset is right at the very beginning, but I don't know if we can hear it, but we'll try. Let's try that, Sandy. We'll just let them hear some of the mindset stuff. I'm talking.
I can't hear it, Sandy.
Yeah, I can't hear.
She's muted, that's why.
I'm muting. That'd be why. I'm sorry.
Program,
I
the
was
stage
blonde.
one program, online
There I am.
lesson series is really going to help. We've come up with 16 lessons, or I've come up with 16 lessons for you. 2 or 3 of them you can just watch, and the first couple that you, like this one here, and the next one you can pretty much do it anywhere. You don't have to be with your horse, so they're going to be easy. You can watch them. I would suggest watching this a time or two. This first one's going to be mostly about mindset. We can get an awful lot done if we are in the right mind space, for mindset to do something. We can get an awful lot done. If we're not set right, we can get drug off here, there, and everywhere. Everybody knows about the little voice that's in your head, or the good angel and the bad fella over here, and they wrestle all the time. You've got the one voice that's trying to help you move forward, and the other one's coming up with reasons why you can't do it. And so you've got to really quiet that inner voice, anything that's coming on, anything that's going on in your mind that's trying to shut you down or slow you down or keep you from doing whatever it is you want to do. You really got to watch what goes on in our minds. And so that's kind of what this mindset is about. We put together this program that you get to use for 6 months. I mentioned, if you don't know, I mentioned to anybody that does know, or you might know this about this, I'm going to encourage you to do it in 3 months. I'm going to tell you how I would, if it was me, how I would attempt to do that, what the plan would be. There's, whenever you're doing,
Stop for a second. I'm going to give you a live mindset. You're going to get a live one, whether you want it or not. So basically, I talk about a whole bunch of things in there. If you've seen that paper on the bottom there, it's written a whole bunch of things, because I was trying not to forget stuff to try to help people move forward. So I've got a 3-month plan that I share with everybody. I go, look, you can, if you do this, and this, I think you should be able to knock out stage 1 in 3 months. So some people are taking 2-3 years to do stage 1. It does not need to be like that. And I'm talking about people that aren't getting any help. I'm saying the people that are just following the stage plan, they got nobody giving them a lesson, they got no help, they're just by themselves. I'm saying in 3 months, you should be able to get through this thing if you follow this step-by-step deal. You should be able to do it. It doesn't mean you have to, and it doesn't mean that everybody's going to put in that much time. That's fine. But that's one of the things that's in there. But probably the overriding, or the overall thing that I'm trying to get through to try to do with the mindset thing, is that when all of us get into horses, it doesn't matter who you are, whenever you got into horses, you had a goal or a dream. So can I see everybody's smiling little face, Sandy? Somebody, I want to see everybody's, get my stuff off there. I want to see. So you raise your hand, everybody, if when you bought your first horse, and when you first started to do stuff, you decide you got to get into horses. Did you have a goal or a dream, or do you have one right now? Put your hand up if you have a, when I bought horses, and when I first got into horses and started doing things with horses, when I was a little kid, I just had horses. I had a horse when I was a little kid, but even as a little kid, I said, oh yeah, I want to do this, and I'm going to be fun. It's going to ride around. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Okay. So does anybody have a dream? Maybe you're all doing this. I don't know who's doing what. Do you have a dream that you want to go and ride, loping around or riding around with all your friends? Anybody want to ride with all their buddies? Put your hand up if you are. Good, good. Is there anybody that's not loping? I said loping, by the way, loping around with your buddies. So don't put your hand up if you're walking around with your buddies. And when I say loping around, and when I say around, let me clarify. You're loping around, you're going out in the fields, you're going down through the meadows and riding through the bush. So put your hand up if you ever had that dream, and put your hand up if you are doing it. You're loping with your friends out in the wilderness, fields, you know, wherever you want. Good. Okay. Put your hand up if put your hand up if there's a dream that you haven't achieved yet. Okay, now we're getting some hands. So what I can honestly tell you guys, and I'm not, this is no BS, I am so far past my dreams. What I initially thought, what I was thinking I would like to do, I am so far, but I don't even know, I don't even have a dream right now because things are coming so fast to me. So many things are happening that are way beyond my wildest dream. I didn't even know I had the dream. I didn't know I was going to do it. I didn't know. I had no idea I was going to become to New Hampshire and hanging out with you people and doing stuff in New Hampshire. I didn't know I was going to be doing a Zoom. This isn't really my dream, but anyways, but it's because of horsemanship. I've been doing all these things. I go to Europe and North America and South America, and I'm taking people all through the mountains. None of these were on my dream. None of them were on my bucket list. I didn't know what a bucket list was. I still don't have a bucket list. I am so far past, and the only thing I focused on was my horsemanship. I focused on my horsemanship, period. And I've been invited to the biggest competitions that there is on the, you know, in that department, in those particular, when I get invited to competitions, that's at the very highest level. Like there's nothing higher. I didn't shoot for that. I was not on my goal. It's not on my dream. It's not on my bucket list. So the point that I'm getting at is I am doing things so far past what I ever thought. I didn't even know they existed, half of these things. I didn't know that there was a door to open. But by sticking with my horse, by following a thing and sticking with something and not going all off half-cocked every different direction, I followed something, I stuck with it. I got so far past my dreams it isn't even, and so that's the same thing that's happening for anybody that's following the program. Anybody that has dedicated themselves to following the thing and getting it, they get their dreams and then some, beyond what they want to do. They thought they might have, you know, at the beginning they go, man, if I could just get off my property with my horse and go for a ride by myself, I'd be some kind of happy. Well, they're doing that all right. They're taking off their friends and riding through the mountains by them, like 3 or 4. I got a call this summer from some all students of mine, and they found cell service on the top of a mountain in the middle of nowhere, and they all texted me so happy because they all had their horses. They left, they all went by themselves. They're gone into the mountains, and each and every one of them had been with me here and followed the program, and they're seriously sticking to the program, and they've been to the mountains with me. Well, now they're doing it on their own. They're gone. And so that's what mindset is about. It's like, you know, everybody's given the same opportunities. It's just what we do with them. Like everybody's given the same information. The information I'm giving you guys has been given to me, and the information that I've learned from 3,000 horses and just as many people that I've learned from teaching. Because when I teach, I learn from people. And other courses that I take about this, that, and the other thing, it all helps me become who I am. And then I use all that to help my horsemanship get better. And so my horsemanship is still improving. I'm still learning like crazy. 3,000 horses later, I'm still figuring stuff out. But the beauty of this is these courses and these things that I do is that you don't have to ride 3,000 horses, and you don't have to ride 8 to 12 hours a day and 300 and some plus days of the year. You don't have to do any of that because you can just use the information that I've kind of learned along the way. And
so
yeah.
Glenn, we have a couple more questions, and I just want to make sure we get to them before we run out of time.
Yes.
So Cindy Lou asked, at the end of stage 1, are we still videoing it for Glenn to see?
Yes, you are. So you're still doing you still do the assessment, and you video your assessment, send it in. And you can do like Sandy said at the beginning, you could just send the paper in and I write some notes on there and send it back to you. Or you can do a live call with me and we watch the video at the exact same time and I can point out all these little things. So anybody that's done that with me, they know. Then I just go blah, 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 like nonstop giving them information, unless it's just, but usually there's tons of stuff to show them. And even the very best, I can say, well, this is how you make it. You passed, it's awesome, but here's how you're going to make it better for stage 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. Or you just send it in and I write a few notes on the thing to give you an idea which ones you would have to. So if you didn't pass something, then you reassess for these ones that you didn't pass. And then like Sandy said, you get a sticker that goes on your stick that says to the world that you just passed it and you officially passed it. It's not a maybe sort of kind of, or, the guy down the road didn't pass you. Somebody in my organization passed you, and right now that somebody's me.
All right, so we got another.
Yep.
Oh, another question. So I might have to have Linda come on to explain this one a little bit, but she says, if you pass these online lessons, more book type knowledge seems to be different from sending you the videos. Am I understanding this correctly? So Linda, I'm not real sure what the question is there.
Well, now based on Cindy Lou's question, I'm glad to hear that Glenn is still accepting videos. Do you have to pass both? So my question's going to change. Do you have to pass both the video now quiz plus the
Gotcha.
You know what I mean, the quizzes?
Yes.
For each level.
Yeah. So the video, the quizzes on the online thing, that's just for your benefit, strictly for your benefit. You check it off. You can say, oh, nope, switch that around. And I don't even look at that. You get to see it because you get instant response on the online course. It says, yeah, you just, and I didn't try to confuse anybody with the questions. There's even some goofy ones on there to hopefully make you smile. But it's just to see if you heard what I said in the thing, so that's just for yourself. And then when you're ready, and you get to see each horse do each stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and you look at that and you go, oh, am I close to that? Does it look like I roughly got that going on? And then if you do, and you can do it in a certain amount of time frame, then you go, I need to send it in now and see where I'm at.
Gotcha.
So then see where you're at. Also, before too, and you might have questions about it, anybody that is actively following the stages program, so following what we're doing, anybody's actively following, we also have a private Facebook group. So we're trying to keep only the people that are serious about doing what I'm doing. They get to get into that Facebook group, the private Facebook group. So everybody that's in there is following the stages, and there's people that are working on stage 8 and people on stage 5 and people on stage 1. Everybody's working on there. So it's a place where nobody's a trainer in there. They're not teaching anybody each other stuff. It's just somewhere where you can celebrate and go, yeah, I just passed stage 1, it's mostly an education thing, because I'll get on there and answer questions ever so often. I'll get on there and do a Facebook Live and I answer your guys' questions. If you're in that group, you can put it in a question. Sometimes I'll put in some tasks for you to do and I'll say, hey, try this, try that. And I get on there and do talks. If there's no questions, then I just get on there and I'll do a talk about something and try to give education and just free tips and whatnot on that deal. So that is that also comes with anybody that's following the stages program and they're seriously, we want to keep it serious. I don't want dibble dabblers in there, and I don't want people that are flying off in 400 different directions. It's like, if you're doing this, please join this group. That's who it's for. And so that also comes, that's another option to help support you. And you got a group of people from all over the world that are in there. They're from all over the world that are in there, and they pop in and out and look at it, and they're all doing the same thing. They're all heading down this trail, and so you're part of a group that supports each other. Nobody's in there like, some of those Facebook groups, they got some real negative, nasty things to say, and you'd only say it once in my group and you'd be gone. So everybody's patting each other on the back and supporting each other, and that's what that's for.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next one. Now, the next question it sort of has to do with that clinic coming down here. So when you come down in September, this is one of my prerequisites, that everybody has passed stage 1. And so you have the basic gross motor skills of stage 1. So Chris asked if you passed your Pirelli level 1, is it the same as your stage 1? So Glenn, if you could just talk about why it's important for your stage 1 versus Pirelli.
There's some very similar things because I spent, I don't know who knows or who doesn't know, but I spent 12 years as one of Pirelli's top instructors, and I was 3rd highest rated instructor in the Pirelli program when I resigned and went on my own. And so there's lots of things in there that I think is wonderful. So Chris, if you're following the stage or if you've passed the Pirelli level, I don't know what it is now because it changes, seems like a lot. And so I don't even know what it is anymore. And it's been years since I've done anything with it. But if you can pass Pirelli's level 1 and you could look at mine and go, let me see if I could pass Glenn's. And you could just do the video and boom. So maybe you've never you never followed mine or took anything to do with me, but you show me you can pass and I'm fine with it.
Okay, thank you, Glenn.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I wanted to mention with Glenn's stages is it's really important to him, the quality. So it's not just the maneuver, but is it being done with quality? And that's one thing that you'll see all the way up through the stages. So I sent in my stage 8 recently, and there was some things that didn't pass because the quality wasn't good enough. And I appreciate that because now I'm working on that quality and it's only going to get better. So it's almost like, thank you for not passing me, because hopefully Glenn knows what I can do, and he knows how dedicated I am and a hardworking person I am to get this right. And so I'm glad that he didn't pass me on that. And that goes for any of the stages. When there's a redo, don't be upset about it. Know that there's a reason why he didn't pass you on it. So I don't know if you want to talk about that more, Glenn, because I think that's really important. That's a pretty good thing that you do.
Well, you know, everybody has a bar, right? Like everybody has a bar for all the different things that we do in life. We've set a bar. And so that's all I've done is I've set a bar, and everybody, no matter, I don't care where you're from, here's the bar. And I've set a bar for you to reach, and not because I'm trying to make things difficult, but because I really want you to get good. Like the better you get, you know, you can open the doors that I've opened. Like you get to do the things, you get to do all the things that I'm doing, or, you know, there's a crazy amount of things that happen because of your horsemanship gets better. And horsemanship is not just about moving a horse around, by the way. And I'm not going to get into that, but horsemanship is not just about moving a horse all over the place. It's a hell of a lot deeper than that. True horsemanship. So by me setting a bar, that's just where my bar is. And so I could lower the bar and lower the bar and lower the bar and lower the bar to make everybody happy. But it's not my game plan is not to, I want everybody to be happy, but I also want them to be good. I want them to be safe, have more fun, go do things that they didn't dream. That's one of the joys of my job is I keep getting to take people and do things with them that they just thought were impossible. They could never do it. And, you know, I got 2 Sandys here that would vouch for that. I've taken them both on some things and they said, well, holy shit, what the heck? And I go, yeah, well, we can do it. You just got to do this, this, and this, and let's get on with it. Let's go. And done it for hundreds of people. And I love that. But if I lower the bar low enough, I can't take people to do nothing. And I'm not doing them any favors anyways, because I'm just making everything so simple so that, you know, it's not who I am. It's not what I want to do. I don't feel I'm doing anybody any favors by making the bar. So if you have to redo something, it's only because I have your best interests at heart, period. Yeah.
Super. No, that's very, very good. So like I said, there's 2 spots available for Glenn to come down. He'll be down here September 9th to the 12th. It'll be perfect riding weather. It'll be fall foliage and no bugs. And I see in the chat, Sandy put some information down. So if you want to go to the chat, it looks like it's $71 in US dollars for the monthly program. And you can go to Glenn's site. It's thehorseranch.com. It's very easy to find, and all the stages are laid out in there. And let's see, I guess that's about it. If you're interested in his, riding in his clinic, and there's always room to audit. One of the things I'm hoping that we can do when he comes down is this year he's going to be staying at an inn, which is just down the road about a half a mile. So I'm hoping we can pony a horse over and pick him up at the inn, and we can ride to the clinic. So
No way.
hopefully he can handle our trails around here.
Yeah.
So so I'm really excited to have him down in September. It's always a lot of fun, and he always opens our eyes to new experiences. In the email that I sent out, the newsletter that I sent out maybe 2 hours ago, there's 3 links of YouTube videos of the past 3 years that Glenn has been down here. So you can see some of this, maybe the way that he teaches and the things that we have done. So it's been a lot. And every year he comes down, he just gets better and better about teaching and communicating. And one of the things that, and this might be a short thing you could talk about, is if somebody's having trouble, he talks about he doesn't want to take the horse from you, because then he gets better. And this is about you getting better and you working through if you have an issue with your horse. Did you want to talk about that at all?
So one thing that I know a lot of people don't kind of think of it this way. I probably didn't when I started, I'm not sure. But horsemanship, that's what I teach. I want people to get better. I want their horsemanship to improve. So in order for our horsemanship to improve, we have to go through all the steps. We personally have to do all the stuff. And your it's not about you and your horse. That's another thing. That's another myth. If that's horsemanship is about you and every other person's horse in this screen, and my horses and every other horse in the world. It's horsemanship means that any horse, anytime, anywhere, if you get your horsemanship, but yeah, sure, no problem. Horse, I don't care. Give me that one. I don't care. Black one, red one. I don't care what breeding it's give them to me. So if you're working on your horsemanship, and that's what I'm telling you when I say I worked on my horsemanship, because I went lots of places and I rode horses I never seen before. I went to places didn't plan on riding, but I seen there was a clinic. So I just said, I begged, borrowed, and stealed somebody's saddle and somebody's horse and went in the clinic. Because I was very clear in my head that I needed my skills to get better. So in the clinic situation, I usually will take a horse somewhere and do a little bit so people can see it. But then I let everybody get to work with their horse. And so I can take every horse in there, no problem, happy to do it. Take every horse in there and do the exercise. And if it looks like it's dangerous or something, or somebody's really super getting stressed out, some people hide it pretty well. But if I can tell they're really having a hard time, and then I'll step in and ask if they would like me to do it, and I'll help them get over the rough spots with their horse. But the main mindset that we want to have is that when you're learning horsemanship, it's not about you and your horse, and it's not about getting your horse to back up. It's about getting any horse to back up, or any horse to load in a trailer, or any horse to pick his feet, or any horse to want to be caught, or any horse to, it's like you possess the skills. It doesn't matter. You could fly all the way to Canada, and I could send you out to the pasture and tell you go catch the black one, and you go catch the black one and you ride him in the clinic, no problem. So it's that kind of a thinking. I want to be able to deal with any horse anywhere. And yes, we got to learn how to deal with whatever horse is in front of us to begin with. But yeah, it's a bigger picture. And the other thing to learn or to know about these clinics and stuff is that riding with a bunch of other people and a bunch of other horses is a fantastic way to learn. It is far better, I'll argue with this to anybody to the day they die, it is far better to ride in a group of people and learn how that has to happen than it is to go by yourself all the time. If there's many ways to look at this. If Wayne Gretzky only, you know who he is? Anybody know who Wayne Gretzky is? I shouldn't be saying Wayne Gretzky. You guys are from the States. He's a hockey player. If you don't know who he is, he's one of the best hockey players ever in the world. Well, if Wayne Gretzky only ever played by himself, he never seen another hockey player in his life, and he stayed away from, he had a coach, and that coach just give him private lessons all the time. And old Wayne had his whole hockey rink to himself and never, guaranteed Wayne would not be the hockey player he is, because he has to see what's possible with all these other people, and he has to see where the bar is and who he's, in that it's a competition. So he's got to see who he's going to beat. But you learn, the point is you learn from other horses and you learn from other people. So when your horse backs up, fine and dandy, but there's 3 other people can't get their horse to back up. So you want to know, why is that? Because what if your horse doesn't back up one day, or whatever the deal is. So it's super beneficial to be able to see what goes on with other horses, and to just sit and watch and go, wow, my horse circles no problem, but theirs sure doesn't, or mine will go sideways, but theirs won't, or whatever the deal is. And you say, well, if I give you their horse, can you do it? If I said, oh, Betty, give Sally her horse because she doesn't think this is interesting. So here, take her horse and let's see if she can do it. So I hope that makes sense. Horsemanship is not about just us and our horses. And that's how, if you get that kind of mindset, that's another part of the mindset. That's how the doors open for you, and you get to go all over and do all kinds of crazy fun things.
All right, super. So I think we're going to wrap it up. It's 8 o'clock. It's been an hour. Went by pretty darn fast. So if, like I said, if anybody has any questions, feel free to get a hold of me, or you can email Sandy at the Horse Ranch. And just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. And our next Zoom meeting will be April 1st. And I'll send out a link with all that information. And then we're going to start working on ourselves so that we can ride better for our horses. So thank you, Glenn, for joining us. I appreciate it tonight.
Yes, thanks for having me, Sandy. And thank you guys for all listening in. And you guys can go to our website and tour all around in there too, because there's some articles and there's some videos, and you get to see some of the things, Brazil, and there's probably Costa Rica and the mountains and all different things that we're doing with horses and places we're going. So anyways, hopefully it inspires you and your dreams get bigger. And if we can help you someday with that, we would be very happy to do that.
Super. Well, all right. Well, you have yourself a good night or afternoon, and we'll have a good night. But all right. Well, thanks again, and we'll see everybody else on April 1st. All right. Have a good night.
Bye for now.